Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of On the Links Live, presented by Nexicom. I'm Pete Dalladay with Carl Lawson, Kawartha Carl, rocking the Sheepdogs t-shirt today by the looks of it, Carl.
Yeah, sheepdogs. Gotta love the sheepdogs. And I was talking to Jimmy Boskill last week, and he was out in Regina doing a sheepdogs event. And then I think yesterday he was in Calgary with the Blue Rodeo for the Stampede. So our boy Jimmy's staying busy.
Yeah, man, and still finds some time to do some solo stuff along with those two bands. He's the busiest guy in Canadian music right now, I think. So that is good stuff. All right. So what about the hat? What are you rocking there today? You got anything special or no?
Today I'm just rocking a little Titleist.
Titleist. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've been playing their new ball, the Velocity. Comes in lime green.
Yeah.
Seems to upset the other guys I play with just enough, so I've been using that ball quite a bit.
Throws them off a little bit. Yeah, I gotcha. All right, listen, special guest on the show today. We have coming up in just a couple minutes from Triple Bogey Brewing, and we're going to crack one of these Triple Bogeys open in a minute when Geoff joins us here, but looking forward to talking a little bit about how he's sort of pivoted from one side of the industry to sort of the beverage side. So that's coming up. Let's bring Geoff on now, and then we'll get to our leaderboards and stuff in a bit. Carl, does that sound good?
Sure. Yeah.
That way we free him up a little bit. We don't have to keep him too much. But hey, Geoff, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Pretty good. Pretty good, thanks. Yeah, not bad for a Sunday morning. Where are you at these days? You live down near London, or where are you at?
No, I live in the beaches, actually, down in Toronto.
Okay,
in the beaches. Yep. Yeah, so we brew the beer in London, but I have an office. Yeah. I have an office in the beaches, and then we live down here in the beaches. So
nice,
great little spot. Yeah.
It's going to be hot at the beaches today. I think it's just going to get sticky.
We can go in that water as long as there's not too much E. coli. We've had a tough summer of not being able to swim. So.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Things are getting a little bit back to normal, and the big smoke down in Toronto. Does it feel a little bit normal again, or?
We've been hitting as many patios as we can, and if it rains, then we can go inside, which is nice, right? So it's we were down at the Stone Lion yesterday, which is one of our favorite pubs in the beaches, and it was busy, man. It was good. It was rocking. So we're I think it feels a little bit better anyway.
For sure.
It's been a long haul.
It has been. It has been. Well, meet Carl Lawson, Kawartha Carl. He's a local legend here in the Peterborough area, and works part-time in the music business as well with as we mentioned, guys like Jim Cuddy and Greg Keeler and all those guys. So he knows a thing or two about patios, eh, Carl? For sure.
Very nice.
Although Jim's more into the wine, and that's okay too, but we got this here. Nice little package arrived this week. Triple Bogey and a little sampler. And I'm going to crack open the non-alcoholic one because it's not quite 11. Not that it really matters, really. I'm in my own home, but I haven't tried this yet, Geoff, so I'm looking forward to it.
Good. I call those the breakfast beers. I got one going right now, too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, perfect. Carl, we should have got you one. I should have run one up to the north end, but I had to run out to Warsaw to pick up my kid this morning instead. Yeah. Now you're in the dark, Carl. Where'd you go?
Well, I think I was a little too far from my router. I was losing you guys, so I'll have to go with the shadows a little bit.
That's all right. We can hear you.
So Geoff, how come the brewery in London was that? Did you take over an old brewery or?
No, so we brew with friends of ours there. It's called Equals Brewery. So I was brewing up in Toronto, and then they decided that they were going to build a giant state-of-the-art facility up there. We were kind of growing out of the place that we were in Toronto, and a guy named Brian Simkowski, who's a good buddy of mine, who's a big red-tailed guy down in London. Nice. He said, if we build this, will you come, kind of thing? And we said, yeah, for sure. So we've been able to expand and grow and kind of partner with those guys and do our thing. They've been awesome, and that's allowed us to do stuff like the non-alcoholic, and we have a light, we got an amber, we got seltzer, and then we got the regular, and we got a canned wine as well, but we make that down in St. Catharines. So
Very cool.
Yeah, a little bit more of wine country down there for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, tell us a little bit about pivoting, because you were into the pivoting of your business before pivot became cool with the pandemic. You're ahead of the game a little bit, because you had to go kind of, not to dwell on the fact that the one side sort of just, I don't know what happened, doesn't matter what the story was, but you went from sort of the clothing side, the apparel side, after it didn't work out for whatever it was working out. Something happened, whatever. You don't have to get into that, but then you're like,
okay.
what do I do now? So just, give people the story a little bit, because I'm not sure Carl knows the whole story either.
So just, I'll go right back. I grew up in St. Thomas. I worked at St. Thomas Golf Club for years. I worked at Red Tail for a little while with Greg Gladstone. Then I decided I took the golf management program at Humber. Then I decided I wanted to go to Australia. So I moved to Australia to do a little university over there. Started my first kind of beach pant wear company, which was cool to kind of learn how to do that stuff. Came back here, worked the cruise ships for a couple of years. I was a golf teacher out there, drinking a lot of beer and having a lot of fun. And then I was doing some, I did a tour for kind of rich kids, if you call it. And the kids, I was taking them to all the fancy golf courses in Florida, TPC Stadium, Doral, all that stuff. Met a guy called Bobby Pasternak, who was my business partner in Quagmire. We started Quagmire right after that.
Right.
Did that for a good haul. We did it for probably about 12 years. Got her going to a few $1 million a year. I got a call from actually one of Jim Cuddy's good buddies, Jim Niche. He was working at IMG. Yeah, so Niche called me. I didn't know him at the time, but he called and he said, would you be interested in coming down to TPC Stadium and meeting Arnold Palmer and his people, and would you be interested in doing some work with them? So I said, yeah, is this a dream or what's going on here?
Yeah.
So anyway, I got a license deal with Arnold through Jim and IMG, and we did that for a couple of years. I reinvented Arnold's brands for North America. All of his old clothes. I went into his house, pulled out all his old sweaters and cardigans and all that stuff. It was pretty neat. I got to go to the Masters with him. I sat with him and Jack after the par 3 contest got rained out in 2012, and those guys just told stories, and we drank a lot of vodka. So anyway, after all that, business partner we had some partnership stuff fall apart, sadly, but the great experience was that. I sat for a year and said, what am I going to do next? And I said, you know what, I'm going to use all these golf contacts and actually build a beer that's targeted towards golf. So we did that. We got into about 30 or 40 golf clubs to start with in the first year. And then beyond that, we're now in over 400 plus. And it's been about 7.5 years since we started this, and it's been fantastic. So we've been having a great time, and we're lucky that we've got all this support, such great support from all the golf courses and bars and pubs. We're in the LCBO, we're in the grocery stores, we're in some those little agency stores. But yeah, we're rocking, and we're not no signs of slowing down.
I got a question for you, Geoff. You mentioned in the grocery stores. How has that sort of changed the game over the last, what has it been, 3 or 4 years now? I mean, is that any sort of a game changer? Just the fact that obviously in Ontario, we haven't been able to, get beer unless it was basically at the beer store or maybe the LCBO as well. But how's that changed the business?
I think it's another outlet. I don't necessarily I don't necessarily think it's translating into more sales. I mean, it obviously has helped our sales a little bit. You're either buying from the LCBO or you're going to the grocery store. If you have that, you got your market. People are looking for you,
right? It's changed more for the consumer, I guess. It's just handier for them. You're not selling necessarily more. Okay.
For sure. Yeah. And I think it's great because it's more access, and maybe they just, walking by, they're doing grocery shopping and pick up a couple of tins and try it, whether they want to or whether they were looking for it or not. But so it has helped a bit. I mean, it's been a bump in sales. My biggest is the golf courses. We got golf courses that are, they're taking 30, 40, 50 cases a week of just the green can, and we're selling the shit out of it. It's been fantastic. So it's
that guy's buying half of them. I think Rob left down in Durham, our friend of the show right there. He enjoys them, and then you got this guy, Darcy Tucker here. enjoying one. Yeah, that's good.
We've had a good run, and now we're selling out in Alberta. We're making a big push in Alberta this year, which is good. We're in places like Jasper Park Lodge. We got some great spots. Hampton Golf Club. It's nice that it's kind of we're being able to pick up what we've done here and bring it over there. And I can only be in one place at a time, but we're trying to expand it across the country. So
yep, nice.
Well done. Yeah. And
thank
you.
You
still find time for? Do you still find time for golf?
I got a 4-year-old and I got a baby on the way, so I won't be golfing for a long time. But it's I played lots when I was a kid. So and when I was doing Quagmire, we played lots, and we played lots of the good courses. I got to play Pine Valley. I've got to play all kinds of tracks in North America and across the world. So lucky that way, and lucky to be.
You mentioned Redtail.
Redtail, yeah. So Redtail's. I grew up there. I was caddying out there when I was a teenager. So people would come along, like Mike would come out, Mike Weir and whoever would come out just for a fun round, and we'd caddy for them. And you never know who you're going to run into, Sean Connery or whatever. It was pretty cool out there. It still is. It's just I just don't get home enough to be down there as much. So.
No, but what a spot. And we're just so far removed up in the Kawarthas from sort of the London area that I haven't had a chance to play really any golf down there. It's such a spot, though. So many great tracks in that London area. So you were pretty spoiled in a way, I guess, to grow up amongst all that. You're pretty lucky. Sure. Yeah,
I'll tell you the best course I've still to this date that I played it every day. St. Thomas Golf Club, right? It's old Stanley Thompson, and it's got a lot of character, and it's a great spot. But it's a great place to play every day because you can kind of get into trouble in different places. But
well, as we say to all our guests, we're lucky. Carl knows as well as anyone to have 2 Stanley Thompson courses right in the city limits of Peterborough. So a city our size, that's pretty good. And when you're about 8-9 years from now, Geoff, when the kids are a little bit older, you can come down and we'll do a double header one day at both Peterborough and Kawartha. That'd be a treat.
I'd love to. He got my good friend Mark Aarons down there, and he's been a great supporter over the years as well for us and through Quagmire and now Triple Bogey. So I imagine. Imagine the recycling guy does pretty good at Kawartha just on Triple Bogey cans. Oh, good.
Alone. And I was out to Wildfire, which Carl knows well. He's good friends with Glenn Stonehouse out there too, and Jeff Mills, and had a few out there on Thursday. So they're everywhere in the Kawarthas. I think you got it covered for sure. I got
to start hanging around Carl. He seems to know everybody.
He knows everyone. He's tied into everyone. That's why he goes by Kawartha Carl.
Yeah.
I was also in. I got my start in the bar business, so I've been around the bar business a long time too.
So you know the game. You know the game then.
Well, I worked at the Ale House in, or the former AJ's Hangar in Kingston, which was a pretty famous spot for music. That's where I got my start in music, if you will.
Very nice.
And so it's funny how a lot of these things go together: golf and music and beer. Sure.
Oh, one of my best stories is when we were doing the Quagmire, the golf clothing. We got a call from my business partner's brother was hooked up with celebrities down in LA, and we got a call from Kanye, and we were doing we did some work for Kanye for a while there for a couple of weeks, and we were up at the Mercer Hotel in New York, and all of a sudden Kid Cudi and Jay-Z walk in. Jay-Z comes in. He goes, "Hey, I'm Jay." I said, "Yeah, I know who you are, man. This is crazy." So we had, and I was sitting beside John Legend, and he was trying to write some lyrics while I was drinking a scotch. So it was quite a night that one was. But
that's a pretty good story.
Yeah, I got a few of those, but really I don't know if we have time for them all. Sounds like Carl does too, though.
Oh, awesome. Man, yeah, he's got stories. Jeepers. That's a whole other show, but just Carl's story. I always told Carl he should just put out a book based on the photos he has and just a quick blurb on each celebrity photo, because he's got some dandies going back to before we were even born, Geoff, I think, back before our time. But anyway, it is great when you can combine your passion and with whether it be golf or music and now into beer and wine and stuff. That's that's pretty good. I mean, I imagine you wake up most days and go, you know what, I'm a pretty lucky guy. I got young kid, another one on the way. It's things are going well for you, pal.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very happy, and we couldn't do it without the support of, again, the GJAC, the Golf Journalists Association, everybody that's helped, just giving us a chance. Our biggest competitors right now are Molson and Labatt, and because that's kind of what the golf course has been known to sell over the years, and they've kind of monopolized that. But we've been able to break down those doors because people gave us a chance, and then we just kind of try to support the heck out of you and make sure that we're doing our part. So we're having fun, and we appreciate everything that everybody does. Can't do it alone, that's for sure.
No, the hashtag better hit another. My gift pack is empty now, but can you buy these, or are these just a gift sort of thing? Like, because these would be a perfect little present or gift for somebody.
We might get selling them. I just did it this year, honestly, just to do for men's leagues. So we're using them. Okay. We give them as men's league prizes, close to the pins at all the places that we're selling to. Yeah. Or just a hole-in-one prize. If somebody gets a hole-in-one, we kind of donate those for those. But it was just kind of a tester year to see how people like them, and people seem to love them, to be honest, which is better than. We love giving away shirts and hats, but we want to get beer down people's throats, right? So.
Yeah.
Comes with a nice glass. You can't go wrong with a nice heavy sort of beer glass there, and it actually looks like it's got a bit of a golf ball thing in the bottom. That's amazing.
And let me know how that ball flies.
I've already tested it. I don't know, Jeff. I don't know, but what's in there, by the way? What is that?
My buddy Chris Thomas said you're the only guy that has a multi-million-dollar company, but what loves exploder golf balls. So those are exploder. We'll
have some fun with that. I'll see if I can videotape that and set somebody up. Who that is, I don't know. We'll pick a victim, but maybe our buddy Dan O'Toole. We play a bit with Dan. Maybe we'll set him up and it'll get Danitized. But so what's next? What's the rest of the summer looking like for Triple Bogey?
We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. I got like I said, we're doing some stuff out west. They got the baby coming, so that's going to put a damper on too much of the travel, and it's coming to the end of August. But we got the light, we got a regular, we got an amber, we got a seltzer, we got all that stuff. So I think we've kind of built what we need to build. The non-alcoholic is it's actually taken off like crazy, which I was surprised about. So we're going to try to promote that a little bit more. Yeah. I built the non-alcoholic because my wife was pregnant and she needed something to drink, right? So, but now it's actually working, so it's all good.
Yeah.
And we'll see where it goes.
I think that's a great idea. I was actually thinking about that myself. I'm not in the beer business currently, but I'm like a couple situations. And Carl knew my dad. My dad quit drinking in the 70s, and but it was always around it, right? And I thought and he passed away a couple years ago, and I thought. And I got a couple other buddies that have just quit drinking because they've had to, they've been forced to it. And I just think it's an amazing option because you still want to enjoy the taste of it. You still want to feel part of it. It's a little awkward. You go, I'll take 3 triple bogeys, and then the fourth guy, because he's not drinking, or girl, it doesn't matter. I'll have a whatever, Coke, iced tea. Some, you just want to be part of it sometimes. I think the non-alcohol beer is brilliant. So good on you for that. And I think
how do you like the taste? It actually tastes like a beer, right? Like it's actually.
I'm gonna start calling them breakfast beers too, man. Yeah, it's absolutely. You wouldn't know the difference. You wouldn't know the difference. Sure. So anyway,
shower
Jeff,
beer too.
Shower beer. Shower beers are the best, especially after golf or hockey, aren't they?
For sure. But now you can have one in the morning.
Yeah, for those morning games. But we'll let you get going. It sounds like I'm sure you got lots going on there, Jeff. But we appreciate everything you do to help out the game of golf here in Ontario, but all across Canada, really. But
thank you.
We'll let you get going. We'll have you back on again if we can. That'd be great.
We appreciate. Nice to talk to you guys, and you guys have a great Sunday.
Yeah, you bet.
Jeff, have a good one.
That was awesome. Nice to talk a little beer. Have you ever? Do you have the triple bogey, Carl?
Do they have it at Pinecrest? I'll check. I'll check. I was going to head out there today, but I think I'm going to head to Warsaw.
Warsaw. Warkworth. Yeah.
Yeah, Warkworth. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a late afternoon game. What was interesting, he mentioned Jim Neese, who is a good friend of Jim's, but they're on the same men's hockey team, and Jim's a heck of a really great hockey player actually as well. And I used to drive that hockey team down to Montreal. I think if you remember, we took the school bus down a couple of years to play in that big tournament in Montreal. So so that's interesting. You never know who you'll cross paths with, eh?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's got some great stories. I mean, going through Arnold Palmer's closet, going through all his old cardigans and kind of sweaters and those classic Arnold Palmer stuff that you could buy for the longest time at Sears, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that was the main spot in Canada where you could buy the umbrella Arnold Palmer stuff, and then Geoff kind of rebranded it because it needed that, right? It needed a little bit more of a hipper. But I tell you what, if I go into Toulouse one of these days or Vinny's and find a vintage Arnold Palmer V-neck or a cardigan, I'm buying it. They don't make them like that anymore. Oh, there's probably a market for the vintage Arnold Palmer apparel, I'm thinking.
Good point. Like, because like you say, they don't make those styles anymore, Well, obviously, but I mean, he was certainly famous. You'd recognize Arnold for sure, his clothing line.
He was always dressed very well, right? Arnold Palmer was, class when it came to the apparel. I mean, Jack was okay. Jack wore a little too much yellow. He liked that yellow sort of golden bear look, which was cool. That's Jack, right? But Arnold, I think flashed a bit more color, didn't he? Wouldn't you say?
Yes. Yeah, I would say. And then, of course, who was actually, when you think about the clothing boom or, style, I think you have to give probably credit to the Shark, though. He kind of started the whole deal. And, he became a very rich man. And you still see Shark apparel on the golf course quite often. So,
Yeah, it's usually worn by a 73-year-old man, but yes. You do. The shark came, the hat was like, he brought the hat to the next level. Like every golfer sort of 40 and up back in the day were wearing that Greg Norman style hat, which is kind of brilliant, really. It keeps you.
Yeah, but his golf shirt, his line of Shark, I think predates Nike and Tiger, obviously. And again, he as far as businessmen on the PGA, I think he's probably one of the wealthiest guys there is,
I would think so. Cool. I would think so. Cool. Anyway,
did you get to tee it up this week?
Yeah, I played Thursday at Wildfire. Curtis Evoy from PTBO Canada, who I do a little work for, as part of this small business group in town. Gertie was playing, your buddy Gertie. Saw him out there, Paul Bennett. I was the least, what would you say, financially secured person playing in the group. There was some money guys out there, Carl. But it's a networking group, and what I love about them is they support each other, and they kind of like that's what makes them sort of successful. Is they support local. And if you need this, you need that, then they use each other and they network. And it was a good day. I was a bit of a DD, so I had a couple, as I say, I had a couple triple bogeys, and that's about it. And then I shut her down after about 11 holes, and then we had dinner out there, which was great. The garlic pizza. Oh my gosh, I had a pizza out there. It was fantastic. Yeah. But it was a good day. How about you? Did you play? I only got the one round in. That was my first round in about a month, actually. It's been busy.
Yeah, well, I didn't play a whole lot. We got. I got the game in there, and the day before I'd played Peterborough, and I don't know if I got through last week, but I told you I really enjoyed the course. I hadn't played Peterborough in a couple of years, and the subtle changes for me is when they make courses more playable, cleaning out areas.
Yes.
That, and that's that's what I really noticed at Peterborough is the spots that are more playable along fairways than they used to be. But so that was really a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. And then, I got my Friday game in at Pinecrest on Friday, which is a game I enjoy. And again, the course out there, I guess all the courses locally, you know, with the amount of rain, I think everybody's probably a little tired of the rain, but it's good for golf courses.
Oh, yeah, you know, there's not a golf course around that isn't in mint condition in terms of how green it is. And speaking of Peterborough, we will get a bit into the leaderboard here, Carl, if we want to. Brought to you by Dion Jamidi, award-winning realtor. And Dion's leading the league there. Peterborough Golf and Country Club is holding their championships. And this is the overall championship right now. I only have the one leaderboard. I apologize to the other divisions. So the final rounds today. So for the men's overall championship, they play 3 rounds. They always play the weekend before round 1 and then back-to-back Saturday, Sunday. A lot of courses do that.
Yeah.
So it looks like some nice scores in there. And it looks like quite the leader group. It looks like at least a 4-way tie, if not a 4-way tie for first at 145. Jordan Fitzgerald, Mackenzie Dasty, is that what that says? A lot of new members there. I don't know. Taylor Blair and Connor Blair all in at 145. And Tanner Hunt not far back, and Josh Hunt. So some sibling rivalries, I guess, going on there. And then some older members, Ben Imeson and Mike Darwin, never count them out on the final day. Now they got 5 shots to make up. Ben's a lefty. He can get her going. Mike Darwin, he can go low. So we'll see. I
see down at the next level, our buddy John Druce at 171.
Yeah, Drucer, you know, I give Drucer credit for entering the 3 sort of round overall championship. He just likes to be competitive, right? You play that many years in the NHL, you want to compete. He knows the chances of him winning the overall. There's probably slim and none, but good on him for just getting in there with the big boys, you know. And now he'll still he's probably playing out of the second or third flight, so he'll probably still have a good shot at competing in his flight. This is the overall championship. And good on him. Drucer had his first hole-in-one about this time last year. It was the last year he scored his first ace.
Nice.
Maybe we can get him a triple bogey gift pack. I know it's been you know, but the thing is, it's brilliant because you know, Peterborough is one of those courses that has the hole-in-one insurance. So if you happen to be, you know, at the golf course when someone gets a hole-in-one, you're entitled to a free drink. So
nice.
I imagine there were some triple bogeys enjoyed, courtesy of John Druce. I happened to be there that day. I wasn't playing. I was just dropping off Noah to work, and I was sitting down just talking to some of the boys. It was a Sunday morning, just like today. And as long as the person's still at the course,
you get it.
Then you get, but the moment he leaves, anyone that comes in then or makes the turn or whatever finds out about it doesn't get one.
Hey, listen, we mentioned Wildfire a little earlier. Their Wild at Wildfire event for their members next weekend, and I booked the Weber brothers in for their big party out there next Saturday night. So
I heard they were looking for music, and that's who you got. Can't go wrong there.
Yeah, and you can't go wrong with the Weber brothers. I mean,
they're opening up for Sam Roberts at Peterborough Music Fest
weekend
in late August.
Yeah, so we'll have something to talk about.
Yeah, that'd be. Well, did you hear that the Weber brothers are opening for Sam Roberts coming up at Music Fest at the end of August?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I heard it's a free show, but
it is. Yeah,
my understanding is that, you know, there's only so many cars, so I'm betting there's probably no tickets now or spots left. But that's really great.
Yeah,
you know I don't actually take so many cars.
Yeah, but the tickets will go on. They won't go on sale because you say it's a free show. They're not for sale, but you still have to get them. And I think actually, they're not going on available for another few days. So, but you're right. It'll sell out if you will, even though it's a free show.
Yeah.
Awfully
well, I think
fast,
Sam probably. Yeah, and I think maybe the next night is I think he might be playing with Blue Rodeo at the amphitheater the next night. I've got to double check that. But anyways, he's fantastic.
Sam Weber? Sam
Roberts.
Roberts. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's a great performer. That'll be a great show. Hopefully we can take that in. I'm a big fan of Sam. Yeah.
Sam, and he's a good guy too, eh? Like he's just a real nice guy for sure. All right, let's take a commercial break. Take a quick time out, and then you'll come back. You got the leaderboard for us? The rest of it?
I do.
All
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the rest of the leaderboard. Carl, what do you got for us here? What's happening after a big week last week at the Open?
Yeah, by all means. I'd like to come back to that as well. But today, the PGA Tour stop is the 3M Open in the Twin Cities. You know where the Twin Cities are, Pete?
Twin Cities, Minneapolis.
You got it, St. Paul, Minneapolis. And Cameron Tringali is leading by 2 strokes at minus 12. What do you get going with?
Well, it just reminds me of a no. It just reminds me of Minneapolis. I don't know, the Twin Cities. I think it sounds like a line at a Dumb and Dumber or something like that. But
it's a line in a John Prine song.
Oh, is it John? Okay, well, the late John Prine. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So, yeah, Cameron Tringali. So, minus 12 leads by 2. Now, Cameron has an asterisk by his name, Pete, for 2 reasons. He started his tour career in 2009. He's got 305 starts on the PGA Tour without a win. So, he'd like to lose that asterisk. But the other big asterisk is our winless PGA player has netted $13,973,000. In that many years, which makes him the number 1 highest earnings of a non-winner on the PGA Tour. So it's hard to feel sorry for him, but he'd like to shake that monkey and maybe get his first win this week.
Yeah, but what if you told him? What if you told him right now? Okay, you got to trade in the 13 mil for whatever the purse is today, which is probably close to 2 mil, and the trophy. Yep. So that's $11 million difference. Would you do it?
Not a chance.
Just to say you won on the PGA Tour. That's incredible. $13 million without a win. A lot of guys quietly go about making a lot of money that we don't even know who they are on the tour. Well,
you say that, but it's taken him since 2009. So what are we looking at? 12 years. I'll bet some of these young guys like a Corey Connors, you get your second win, you're already in that $2-3 million range. I don't know if that his is all winning. So, but I think you can, if you're just making the cut every week, you can probably, it adds up pretty quick over 4 or 5 years, just making the cuts on that.
I think it would.
So that's quite.
It would add up. We'll cheer for him then.
Yeah, 2019 U.S. Open winner Gary Woodland is 1 back at minus 11. And then the other notables, Maverick McNeely, you know that name? We've seen him pop up, the young 21-year-old Jimmy Walker and Charles Schwartzer, minus 10. And our Canadians, Roger Sloan, a Canadian that we don't hear a lot about. He's trying to get his first win. He's only 2 back, minus 10. And Adam Hadwin, who had been leading, was a leader after the second round. He's fallen to minus 8, only 4 back. So somebody will shoot lights out there today. Scores have been coming in. We had a 63 there yesterday, so that'll be good. So we'll watch for that. I wanted to go back. I mentioned last week, or maybe I'll do the LPGA. That's the Evian Championship.
Yep.
Jeongwon Lee 6. Have you seen that girl's name on the leaderboards? I really don't have the answer for why her last name is Lee 6. I wondered if it had something to do with having so many Lees on the women's tour, but I got to look that up because if her actual name has a numeral in it, then
I
I
don't
guess
know.
it does. I don't. But she did something kind of amazing. She shot a 61 on Friday, and that tied the lowest score ever shot in a championship, women's championship. So she leads the field by 5, and so that takes care of the tour. I wanted to come back to Colin Morikawa. He had the big win last week, Pete.
Yep.
And that really puts him in some elite company for a 24-year-old. He's the 8th player to have 2 major wins before the age of 25. Tiger, of course, being one of those. But he's the first guy to win 2 majors in his debut in the tournament. So the first time he ever played the Open, he wins it.
Yep.
First time he ever plays the PGA Championship, he wins it. So that's a pretty cool, cool stat.
He's 2 for 8, I think, in majors. He's only played in 8, and he's won 2 of them.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what? I was really impressed with his victory sort of chat afterwards as well. He just seems like a really classy young man, which is nice, you know.
Yeah, he's got a sense of history for the game, which I always like in the young players. And they were showing, I saw a really neat picture of his swing finish, and they put it beside the Ben Hogan, and it was like a carbon copy of Ben Hogan's, finish with a golf club. That was kind of neat.
He seems like he's a golfer's golfer, like I often say that about hockey players. There's a lot of kids that were drafted yesterday in the NHL that are just, they're really good at hockey for sure, but I don't know that they're all hockey players, and I wonder if that's true in golf as well, whether there's just some really good people that are just really damn good at it, but they're not golfers, does that make sense at all? He just seems like he's a golfer's golfer,
Yeah, he's like the full package. I agree with you. And we see a lot of, every year we're seeing young guys come out of the woodwork. But I think Morikawa, he'll stick. He looks like you say, he looks like he has the head for it, and he certainly has the talent. So it'll be interesting to watch. We should note that Jordan Spieth finished just 1 stroke back last week, so he's still on his uphill climb back into the PGA top tier. So that was good to see. The other thing,
are you a Jordan Spieth fan, Carl? Or
I certainly was early on. Yeah, he took it by storm. He was really something to watch. His putting was very Tiger. That's the one thing I also remember about Tiger in those early days, that he just routinely made 30-footers and to win golf tournaments. But he's not the most charismatic guy by any means. But we'll keep an eye on him. The big one I wanted to talk about last week, Robert Gagaris. Do you remember that name?
Yeah.
So did you see what he did last week? As a 43-year-old, he was in that Barbasol Championship, and I think it was kind of one of the neatest things to happen this year on the tour. On the par 5, number 5 hole at that course, it's 549 yards, so not super long.
Yeah.
But he did something that's never been done, and I'll let you count it up over 4 days. On that par 5, he birdied it the first day, -1.
Yeah.
Albatross the next day, -4.
Okay.
Eagle on the Saturday, -6.
Yeah.
And Eagle on the Sunday, -8. And they looked, and nobody, since they've been keeping stats.
No, there's no way.
They've only been keeping golf stats since '83, so he's the first guy to ever go -8 on a hole. It's pretty amazing, eh? Like, imagine the feeling.
That's almost. It's not, obviously it's not impossible. He did it.
No.
But it's incredible.
It's really incredible. You go, especially the Albatross, and then follow it Eagle. So that was a neat thing to happen last week. And I guess the other big news is Bryson DeChambeau has made the headlines again. So he's contacted COVID, so he won't be going to the Olympics. I see John Rahm also has caught it a second time and will not be going to the Olympics. But DeChambeau has now got a nickname hung on him, Mr. Physics. Did you see that in the news?
Tell us more.
I think it was one of I'm not even sure who said it. I think maybe not Justin Thomas, but somebody referred to him as Mr. Physics. So he's having lots of trouble with Bryson. He's really kind of putting his foot in it, as they say.
Had quite the year.
Yeah,
for sure.
You should never talk bad about the people that make your equipment. So, anyways, it's been kind of fabulous to watch, though. Like you say, I think he's getting picked on a little bit now, but he might have brought it on himself.
Yeah. You got to be careful how you talk about your sponsors, for sure. There's no question. Oh, I see. So Rob Leth, our buddy Rob Leth, says, I missed Geoff Tait, better hit another. He must have missed too with it when we brought up his photo of him enjoying one of a few beverages. So we had you on, Rob. Yeah. There you go. You were on the show earlier. That's a great shot. I like that. Little sky, little band T-shirt, I think, on there or something. I don't know what he's wearing.
It's great.
But anyway, so okay, that wraps up the leaderboard and some good little tidbits there, Carl. Lots of good information there.
Maybe I should give you one quote from my golf calendar.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
And only because we already heard his name today. Concentration comes out of a combination of confidence and hunger. Arnold Palmer.
Oh, yeah. Arnold. I tried to name our youngest son Palmer, but never happened. Couldn't quite sell it. I just thought it would, like, in our family, I mean, I have a nephew, Jack.
Yeah.
And I have a nephew, Nicholas. So we got a Jack and Nicholas, and I was kind of hoping to add a Palmer to the family.
Well, maybe your next boy, you could name him Palmer.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe my next dog, my next pet.
Right on.
But
let's try and get it.
Yeah. Sorry. Let's go out and play for sure. Are you off today, or are you... Oh, Carl's frozen.
There you are.
Are you playing today or no?
Yeah, I think I'm going to drive out and meet a couple of the Belleville boys in Warkworth. I like the drive, and it's a nice late tee-off time, 1:30, so I don't have to rush. And
hey, while you're there, check their grips, Carl. Make sure if they need grips, tell them to see Tony. Chances are, Larry. Are you playing with Larry down there? Or?
Larry's going to take a pass.
Oh, okay. Well, you might check out the other grips, get them installed, bring them home with you, and you can get them done. Tony will do them up. You can deliver. You can get into the grip business, Carl. You can be the middle guy. Oh, we got you on. We got to unmute you here. You got to unmute yourself, maybe.
There we go. Yeah, maybe. I need to get it. Maybe I need to get into the beer business too. That sounds.
Yes. Yeah.
That could be good.
100%, man.
Might have to get hold of Geoff and get into the beer business. Sounds like a pretty prosperous business.
Yeah, he's doing well. It was great to have him on the show. And Rob, we'll have to have him on maybe next week or the next week. He got to play Kawartha last week with Sam Meek, who pounded the ball 300 plus yards every single drive. They had a bit of a rain delay here and there, but anyway.
Yeah. I talked to somebody that played Kawartha. I haven't been over to Kawartha, but I talked to somebody who played, and they said that Kawartha is in awful nice shape right now too. So maybe we can get over there tonight.
They all are. It's tremendous. We're so lucky to have the talent we have in the Kawarthas working here on the local courses, whether it be Kawartha, Peterborough, Pinecrest, Liftlock, you name them. And we have a lot of talent in the area, right? So it's good.
A lot of good pros too. A lot of good local pros.
Yeah. Oh, don't be sucking up to the pros, Carl. You're just looking for a game.
Oh no, a lot of people throw me in with the pros.
Oh, right. Yes, pro shop guy. Yeah, because that's your title. Pro, because you used to work in the pro shop.
That's right.
No, we are. Right. I mean, Geoff mentioned Mark Aarons, and we got Curtis over at Peterborough, who you got to see the last week, and Michael Gillen, and I saw Millsy the other day, and we're very fortunate to to have great people. I should mention Baxter Creek too. Baxter Creek, I'm told, is in tremendous shape. Bobby Christie, who's the superintendent out there, saw him the other day last week at East City Coffee Shop. He was just sitting there having breakfast. He had to come into town to pick up some parts and some stuff, and he's just sitting there having a little breakfast. So I had a good chat with Bobby Christie, and he's invited us out there. I haven't played Baxter Creek. I think the last time I played there was with my dad. So we should get out there too, Carl, and try and give it a go as well.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years, but I love that course. And it's funny, you mentioned the East City Coffee Shop. The Hawk called me, and he wants me to take him for breakfast at the East City Coffee Shop. He loves that
Beautiful.
spot. Yeah.
Well, Carl, we need to go to East City Coffee Shop, get ourselves a hamburger.
Get me out of this house.
All right, Carl, thanks so much. Appreciate it. We'll do it again next Sunday on the long weekend. The long weekend edition will be a short edition next weekend, just a half an hour. So
sounds good, pal.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Yeah, you betcha. And we'll see you at the beach. Hopefully not in the beach if you're golfing, but we'll see you at the beach.